Fox News has been caught falsely identifying photos from a border facility as pallets and pallets of baby formula for illegal immigrants. Of course. Right now, of course, you know that there is a shortage of baby formula thanks to one of the larger producers of it being shut down as a result of bacterial contamination. So the FDA, they found that there is contamination of Cronobacter in some of these pallets of baby food. They had found this, and of course a whistleblower had come out and said that, hey, look, there are people that know about this in the company, and they have ignored it. And they ignored it in order to save money. They didn't want to spend money fixing the machines, and so as part of the drying process, you had an issue with these machines, with these pipes specifically, allowing Cronobacter bacteria to grow and to contaminate the supply of baby formula. And so now, this whistleblower again pointed out how executives knew it, and they decided to spend money that they could have used fixing the machines, replacing them, and doing $5.7 billion worth of stock buybacks. So that's their priorities. By the way, these Cronobacter bacteria contamination killed 2 infants. So 2 parents, I'm sure the parents of these, that are devastated by the loss of their children are comforted in the fact that some of these executives ended up getting a high return on investment. Or maybe not. Or maybe not. Now, the company, Abbott Laboratories, was cited for safety violations, by the way, to the FDA, leading to them being shut down. Now, conservative media, very silent about these things. Very silent about the corporate greed, about them, this company not, needing additional regulation or just to be regulated in the first place. But now are very, very outraged that some of the formula from other companies ended up having to go to immigrants in detention, or else, of course, they would starve. Representative Cammack, you might remember, shared some photos that she claims were given to her by a Customs and Border Patrol agent of, quote, pallets and pallets of baby formula that they have sent to the border. And of course, making the accusation that the Biden administration is taking that formula out of your baby's mouth and sending it to illegal immigrants. The illegals. Now, first off, how much formula is actually going to migrants versus Americans? I mean, you look at the numbers, it's pretty small. I mean, so there's actually about 3.5 million babies born in the U.S. per year in this country. Now, that's versus the 1,000 children from ages ranging 0 to 18 years that are taken into Border Patrol custody that were taken in March, less than 1,000. So it's not like a huge amount of those children need baby formula to begin with. There is a small amount. Now, secondly, of course, what are the parents actually supposed to do when they're in detention? They can't just leave. That's literal. It's detention. They can't leave. They can't go to the store. They can't order online. They don't have any of the resources that American children have. Again, if you're a regular person and your store is running low, you can try to order it online. You can go to a different city. Yes, it's annoying. It's an inconvenience. But you actually have those options. People sitting in detention do not. And by the way, third, it would be horrible, but also against the law, illegal to starve immigrant babies. And it's amazing that I have to point that out. But if you're a pro-law and order conservative, it would be against the Flores settlement to not feed the babies that are in detention. Whether or not you're like, oh, but they broke laws to get here. But okay, you would be breaking laws if you deny them food, because you have to feed them by law. Again, it's amazing that you have to make that argument from a law perspective, right? Because they don't understand, they don't think that these babies are human and deserve food. So now, again, that's the perspective from Fox News, right? Now, here's the thing. Of course, it turns out that they lied. They lied about the pallets and the pallets. Some of these photos were misidentified on the air, particularly, again, Hannity, Fox and Friends. In fact, I'm going to show you the videos here of them talking about this. Take a look.
New photos inside a migrant facility, this one in McAllen, Texas. Look at that, pallets and pallets of baby formula for illegal immigrants and their families. Even as hardworking American families, we're now suffering a massive a nationwide formula shortage.
Border children, the illegal immigrant children, are getting formula. She said there are vats of them, big pallets of them on this truck that are being stocked at the border.
These illegal aliens are getting, quote, pallets of baby formula from the Biden administration. As Cammack put it, quote, they're sending pallets of baby formula to the border. Meanwhile, in our own district here at home, we cannot find baby formula.
Pallets. We got pallets and pallets of just baby formula that's going right to the illegals. That's even. That's. Really? Now, again, here's the thing, right? A lot of the products that are on the pallets were marked not as formula, but as powdered milk. It's a different thing. They're actually different. So, look. Let me see if I could bring that up, a better picture of this. Of these pallets, but or I'm sorry, of the things on the shelf. So, I mean, obviously, you do actually see quite a bit of baby formula on that second shelf. Other stuff is not marketed as baby formula. That's actually stuff for older children, for older infants, over a year in age. So, look, Nido, which is the stuff that was on the pallets, Nido is not baby formula. It's powdered milk. Nestle, the manufacturer, specifically notes that Nido powder products are only intended for children ages 1 year and older. Oh, interesting. So look, they are lying about this. A lot of that stuff, and I'm not saying that there's no baby formula. Obviously, you have to send baby formula to the babies that are in immigrant detention. But it's not taking from average Americans. No, they had a stockpile that was full for. They're supposed to keep these areas stockpiled. Odds are they had already bought it and had been waiting to use it for some time. And some of the orders that have come in were orders that were made months ago. So, look, again, we're not monsters. We have to provide this formula to infants. But what Fox News is doing is basically taking something that isn't the fault of the Biden administration, for one, and using it as a 1-2 to attack the Biden administration and to foment hatred against immigrants, especially babies. Again, the pro-life party being very, very angry at infants eating, and using, of course, all of that to get Americans angry. Americans who, of course, who are dealing with inflation, who are dealing with these pressures, and yes, dealing with supply shortages, but to get them angry at the wrong people.